Hi, this is a video about computing the return on invested capital. Now, to introduce the video and why I think it's a crucial subject and why I actually think it's an interesting subject, I'm going to go to a couple of financial slides, and I've got these slides, some on valuation theory, to update some of these slides clearly. I don't think we need to see that one. I don't know why I put these silly things of Chicago there, but okay. I would, in general, some of the big deals for me is understanding how these EBITDA things should be computed, how to adjust terminal value for some stable ratios and some other things. Now, I start by talking about how every single valuation decision involves two things, only two things, that are two of the most hardest things in the world. One is making a forecast of the future, and the second is assessing risk. Now, horrible Nobel Prizes have been given for saying that you can, I don't know why I have this here, but that you can somehow measure risk by standard deviation in return. This is just a example of a analyst report where they did a simple DCF analysis and used a risk-free rate plus a 3% equity premium and a long-term 3% equity risk premium that's adjusted for a very low beta to come up with some kind of valuation. Free cash flow, of course, EBITDA minus capex and all that stuff. And this is just showing that whatever you you get this crap, okay? And then enough with CAPM and problems with all the CAPM and all this stuff. Then and some stuff about simulation and all this stuff, okay? And here's what I wanted to get to. What I wanted to get to is, well, we can talk about this slide. This is a McKinsey slide. You know, you start with your strategic position and your competition and your strategy. You see if you can get some real competitive strengths. That translates to ROI, growth, and cost of capital, the three drivers of returns, and that translates to valuation. Now, I don't know why they have the arrows going back and forth and everything else, but what we're going to talk about is what is the ROI? How do we really compute that? And are you making higher ROI than cost, and are you growing? And the basic calculation of ROI is pretend there was no interest. Then this would be EBT minus taxes, so that would be earnings. No plat is just taking the interest out of it, and this investment would be equity, but since we've basically got debt and equity. Now it's a lot more nuanced and interesting than that. Okay, and this goes through kind of how return on invested capital can be kind of computed. You got return on equity, return on debt, return on capital. Return on equity is this. Return on debt, you have to make a tax adjustment to get the tax shield, and you can divide it by equity. So this is the numerator. And then you can say, well, net income plus interest is EBIT, but we have to take 1 minus the tax rate. So we can take it out here, and then equity and debt and everything, okay? And here's some illustration with return on equity, return on invested capital, and return on debt, and some reconciliation. And here's the big thing. I wanted to talk to you about adjustments. Adjustments like What happens if you have a write-off? What happens if you have goodwill write-off? What happens if you have restructuring write-off? What happens if you have impairment of assets? Your capital goes down, but your investment didn't go down. You still made that investment, so your ROI suddenly goes up. What kind of adjustments should you really make? Now, the big thing here is that everybody wants to be where the ROI is greater than the cost of capital and growth, our powerhouse. Everybody wants to be here. Do I have two of these? All right, good if I have two. That should be two. Here's the problem. When everybody comes from all over the world to be in this thing, they should have put a little arrows in here. Then suddenly you've got oversupply, ROI goes way down, and suddenly you're in here. And I want to show you that this is the worst one. Not this or this. This is the worst one. So you do from this and you jump over here. That's the danger. And that's why we need to evaluate the ROI so carefully. So what do they, oh God, how sustainable this is just baloney, isn't it? I didn't say another word. Okay, so now what we're going to do is do this with our case study. And the case study we'll use is this First Solar I've been using just because it's in the solar industry and it's a big company there and it's a fun company. They have a Harvard or Stanford case study about this. And let's look up First Solar. Okay, and then what I need to do is get their, I should put first annual reports 2015. And where can I get there? Is this 2014? Well, okay. This is 2013. That's not what I wanted, is it? Whoops. What happened here? Just a minute. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay. I downloaded the latest report. Now, I have all of the old annual reports in oh, excuse me, in a folder here in the case studies. So this is a little bit of financial analysis. Let's look at the financial reports. Okay. We'll start with the 2006. Now, when we do this, let's go all the way back and let's see if we can get this. No. Ah, shit. This looks like it's a, is this all? Just a minute. Oh, I love that little thing. Oh, come on, let's get through this crap and discussion. Let's get to some numbers. Here's where they had the initial public offering. I guess we do have some. Oh, shit. Just a minute. Why is this happening like this? Just a minute. No, I can't believe how sometimes I have difficulties in things. So let's first make a summary sheet. And now that means as soon as we have this, it's going to work. But I suppose we should make Alt HOR and let's put summary 2006. So we've got to kind of keep them all consistent. And you know, when we go through this, I said again. Didn't want this. I wanted Acrobat. I'm frustrated. This is a summary. You hope that they keep things consistent, which probably won't happen. I look at 2006. It wasn't that long ago, but this seems like such ancient history. It seems like lifetimes ago in the solar industry. What kind of... They must have been selling it, you know, God knows at what kind of exchange rates when they're selling them to, when those feed-in tariffs were so high. I think the solar industry is so interesting because it's a simple industry and it's become a commodity, and it should. For once, something's really worked. And the way I talked about the German government policy, I just think it's remarkable. I mean, I think maybe they're going to start doing this with batteries or something. They just say, okay, we're going to pay a high feed-in tariff and people are going to come and figure this out. And they really did. Just wonderful. I mean, it's probably a lot more complicated with things like batteries, I'm sure. And some things, just like the ocean stuff, hasn't worked, has it? Now, so this is kind of another summary. Actually, I take this back. This looks like the statement of operations. And so let's put this here. Now, it's a pain. Up here, we're not gonna, excuse me, get the whole thing to work, but Alt HOR 2006. Okay, and now then we have some. This is still part of the summary sheet, really. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna call this the summary statement. Now, we could use the summary statement. Okay, it's totally fine to put it like this. So, you know what I'm gonna do is move this. Okay. Oops. You know, this is I'm taking a lot more time than I wanted to for this. Alt EL to delete the sheet. Okay, so now, you know, and then after we get the summary, we can start collecting a whole bunch of crap. Notice how they don't compute any financial ratios for us. And then we go all the way down. Oops. And then they have some, oh, come on. And we finally, oh, this is kind of, see, I start saying, oh, why don't we take this? Why don't we take this? But don't. And then they have all the notes, and you should read these if you're doing a really careful analysis, obviously. And then they have some quarterly. Maybe I should get the quarterly. And then we have the, and maybe for financial analysis, you really would want the quarterly. But then for now, I'm just going to get the a balance sheet. You know. And what happened here? Great. Okay, I hope we've got everything, so let's put the balance sheet here. Okay. Okay, I didn't use that silly shortcut. I hope we have enough. and I didn't use the Shift F11. Okay. And then we have the and then we copy this one and get the income statement. Okay, and then we have the let's go to the next one, and hopefully then we have some statement of equity, and I don't usually really use any of this in our analysis, so let's just go down to the statement of cash flows. Now the only thing that I'm a little worried about is that we don't have the number of shares. Hopefully that's in the balance sheet. And the cash flow statement won't be very important, but sometimes we need depreciation. We certainly need capex. We want to see what kind of investments they've made. Okay, and cash flow 2006. Okay, and I think I'm going to now, we're going to do this for each one, obviously. I'm not going to keep the video on while you have to watch all the boring downloads, but I just wanted to give you a little example of this. Now, if we want to very quickly, let's make a macro and add sheets. Okay, and let's see how easy this is. And why don't we put for year equal 2007 to 2014, and what I want to do is just make sheets, and we'll put sheets hang on, okay, sheets dot add, and then active sheet dot name equals year summary on year. No, we need a year. Okay, and then we'll add another one and put the balance sheet, and then we put the income, and then put the cash flow, and then we put next year. And then the first thing you do is you press F12 to make sure that you are not going to screw anything up when you do this. So I'm going to put this into our case studies file, and call this financial data. And now when I save this, I just put a macro in here, so I better say this is a macro enabled book. Okay, and now let's just run this macro. I'm afraid to do this in case you can't tell, but I'm going to run it. Okay, for year. Shit. I guess I can't name it year. I didn't know that. Okay, let's press. Okay, and then here, for once things worked reasonably well. it kind of went backwards, but why don't we just fix this if we wanted to? So we can press Shift Control down, kind of get all the sheets if we want to delete all. Whoops. Hang on. Shit. Oh, shit. Okay, that was taking way too long. Okay. And we put it all the way. Okay. I'm almost. Okay. Let's try it really fast. Okay. And then we delete all of them. Okay. Okay. And then how about this one? We'll cheat a little bit. And then we'll just change the macro just a little bit. And all we have to do is go from 2014 to 2007, step -1. That's how we would fix that. Okay, and we'll go to macros and run it. Okay, now I'm going to come back. So 2007, it's kind of backwards in that way, but who cares? We could have changed the format around, and we'll go and fill all this in. Okay, and I'm stopping the video, and I'll be back when it's all filled in. Okay, now once we have all of these things in, summary sheets for 2006 all the way till 2012. Obviously a pain, obviously an incredible pain, and we'll show you why you can't just use MarketWatch or some Bloomberg or something like that. So you have to sometimes in life play with the sand, get in and get your hands really dirty and understand where the data comes from. Now the good news is once you get it into PDF, you can go to chapter 1, and then you go to Excel Utilities, and we're going to find the file that says read PDF to Excel. This is not a perfect solution, but for me it's a big deal. What I can't understand about my website is why this isn't the most kind of used thing. Now once you do open it and press that continue, a little thing at the bottom says Shift Control A, and then you press Shift Control A, and it tries to figure out, now 1, 2, 3, 4, I think we had the right numbers, and then it puts it, now if it's net or total, it puts a underline, maybe that's kind of overboard, and it makes the second sheet. You really don't need the first one anymore, but we'll keep one that just has it. So let's try this again. Shift Control A, and this time 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is 5, so it got this wrong by 1. Okay, and it didn't work quite, and the reason it didn't work quite, and that's nice that we had this, It's because of all those damn dots. Don't worry about that. Now, let's try Shift Control A again. And then now the number of columns to analyze, I think we should put to 80. Let's do 80. Now what will happen there, notice that it worked, and it put kind of a few extra spaces there, and then it did it in the rest of it. Now, I think the best thing to do is leave this and not worry too much about all those year numbers right now. And then let's try the balance sheet. This only has 2. So Shift Control A. Now I should really adjust this, I realize. Let's always use 60 from now on. And then we have a nice thing. Okay. Shift Control A. It put 3 here. We decided to put 60. Okay. Shift Control A. We put 60. Okay. Now, if you're having problems with this, I'm adjusting this for some of the European, financial statements have those spaces in them. And sometimes you have to fix. Sometimes the reading from the PDF into Excel puts some little spaces in numbers. So, but the program includes adjustments for those kind of things. And looks like we're in the income. So I'm gonna switch the thing off and finish it, and we'll do the. Okay. Now the next step is to just put this stuff all together. Now let's say we're putting the balance sheet together. What we can do, how about this? I'm going to start over here for a minute. Here's our file. Okay, and I'm going to make a file for the sheet for the balance sheet. Alt HOR. Is that really faster? Oh my God. Okay, balance sheet. I think it would have been faster to use the mouse that time. But you know what I'm going to do? Keep practicing. HOR for like hour. So all of these balance sheets, we want to figure out a way to put them all together. And in fact, the balance sheet's the toughest one of all. Okay? Just a minute. God damn it. Okay, sorry about that. So what we're going to do is put balance sheets together. Now, I'm going to, again, the same way I did this before, do it kind of slowly. This time go to View and New Window, Arrange All. I hope I pressed Arrange All. It's going really slowly now. And then we have 2 versions open. I'm not sure. One of the problems with this, it gets your freeze panes all screwed up, but whatever. So you've got to kind of figure out which one was the original one, and then delete when you're finished, X out of this. Of course, you can't. Now, let's put equal left and click on the balance sheet here and put comma 50. Oops. Excuse me. Comma 50. And I guess we have to make this a little smaller in this one so we can see what's going on. So, if this is left comma 50, where did it go? Okay, and then we'll Bring it down. Okay. I pressed Control D, and we then have this, and then we can put equal this one, and Control R, and double click, and then we get all the way to the kind of end. Alright, well, that might be something that I just messed up at. And then let's put left, and let's go over to the last one. So let's go to 2013 count. Okay, and just click on this one, and I think we can double click. Okay, and that didn't work. Left, and I didn't put comma 50. Okay. Now you can see that we don't start in the same way, but the big issue here, okay, and let's then put an equal sign, and oh shit, I thought we were in balance sheets. Why does it say 2014? Okay, you know, okay, this is balance sheet 2000, and then we go to this one. Why? Let's do two more. I know this is going to be very boring. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is all of them. So I learned my lesson, and that's the one we just did. And let's make the one for 2012. No, this was stupid. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop now. This is just too boring. Okay, and okay, so I did it for all of the files. Wasn't quite as painful as I thought it was, actually. Then we can get rid of this one. I said get rid of this one, and then we go to this one. Now, once we have this, we have the two things here, and we're going to start using match and index, match and index, match and index. Well, and see if it works. I don't know. Now, if I match this against the whole column A and put comma 0, then, and actually we can see which ones, if we missed anything. Now, here's an NA. Now, if I go to this one over here, there's no, after inventories, there's no NA. So I shift control down, control X, and move it down. And I copy the retainage here. This happened to be in the, whoops. I have let's put that. So now we fixed that one. So we have an extra space for that one. And then we have a couple of other NAs here. Now, I don't think these NAs are important because we we and accumulated other comprehensive loss or income. There must have been a little bit of different spelling. Why didn't that work? And what I'm going to do is just in case, copy, edit space specialist values, and then we have all of these, and hopefully the common equity won't be a big problem. Okay. Now, once we have this, we can then use the match and index here, and I match this one against anything here, and then find these two columns. But before we do this, let's get the next one and do precisely the same thing with our kind of master list. So put equal match, and even though this is kind of ridiculous, we'll click on this one. Okay. Somehow we have a December 31st for this. And what did I do? Oh, we need a comma 0. That's what I was expecting. Okay, so now, oh shoot, it's not that bad. We have accounts receivable unbilled. So apparently, whoops, there's some kind of different name. Now we could so we have, okay, and then we have project assets just underneath total current assets. Oops. Okay. And now hopefully once you do this kind of stuff, okay, then you'll and we have deferred revenue under liabilities and under current portion of long-term debt. So shift control down, control X, go down 1, find the deferred revenues, copy, and hopefully next time it'll get a little easier. It probably won't. And then we have some stuff at the bottom, and I agreed. You probably didn't agree with me that we'd just not worry about this. Then we go to the next one and do the same thing. Equal match. And we click on the column A. And this time, don't forget to put 0. We don't care about the NAs until we, of course, get into this. And, uh-oh. Well, the only problem we have is this shared issues. Common. This is, perhaps we'll do a, I think we're going to, as long as we have total stockholders' equity, we'll be okay. So I'm going to leave that, and hopefully we'll get something similar here. So insert, equal match, and we go all the way to the, no, we don't. Oh, come on, where was I?
Hi, Dad. Bye.
Oh, shit. Okay. We put match, we go over 1, and then we click on this one, comma 0. Okay. And we have a problem up here right under cash and marketable securities. We just Control X, put this in, and we go over to the place where I just saw the NA, and that was over here. And S. Did that fix it? It looked like it's. Did we have? There was one missing dot in that one, and then we have the regular old problems at the end, and I think that would be essentially impossible to fix. And okay, I think this is getting boring. Okay, you see what we'll do. We have a few more columns to do, and trust me, I've tried this a lot of different ways, and it's a pain, but this way we can kind of get it manageable. So let's pause. Okay. Well, I wish there was a way to make that process really easy, but now we have matches for them all. So if total current assets here is in row 18 here, so we have this now. If I want to take this one, we've got 2014 and 2013. Let's get 2012. And 2012 is going to be this column. So what we can do is put match. Why don't we start with, we don't need to start with this. I'll put match on this one. And then we put comma. And we click on the entire column and put comma 0. And then to get that correct, we put index. And we click on the this one. Oops, sorry. And then we put a comma. Oh, and then we can double click it. Now, for these NAs, apparently there was no. Let's just assure that that's correct. There was underneath current portion of long-term debt. We had payments and billings for deferred. Oh, this is where I kind of should have put the same thing in, but we have some NAs. Okay. Next time I'll practice it a little bit better, and then we can put if error. Let's just make it 0. I have there almost should be a match index NA. So now we have 2012. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing. Okay, and let's do 2011. Now 2011 is over here. That's this column. So 2011. Let's practice again. Equal match, and we match this one this time against all of the 2000. The one that has the 2011, put comma 0, and then we do the same thing as index, and we click on the 2011 data we want, and then we can get the, why did it, what's this one, what's the format here? I don't have some kind of, oh, great. What's going on here? Okay. And of course we'll put the, and we'll put a comma 0 as we did before. Okay. And onward. So the good news is we seem to be getting everything. Alright. Trust me, I've done this by hand, and you know, this is pretty frustrating and pretty tedious, but it's about as mechanic as you can get, and this is a pretty hairy one. So then we have 2009 here in this column, right? 2010 and 2009. So we click on this, comma 0. That's our, and apparently in this case we had no cash and equivalents. I put it in another one. Okay, and we'll put equal index. And, oh shit, I tell you. And we'll put this on the comma. Okay, and I should have gone the other way with the copying, but alright. Let's put if error. Okay, and I think you're getting the idea, so how about I stop the video and come back when it's just finished. Okay, well that was a little more frustrating than I thought it would be, but it still sucks. I just don't know how to do this more easily, but now we have a balance sheet going all the way to 2005, and we have a really detailed balance sheet, and you're going to see when we go through the return on invested capital calculation, why it's good to have the details, because we're going to look at what happens to all of the different accounts, and we'll have different judgments and different ways to use the various accounts. Now I'm going to do the income statement. We'll do that more simply. We have 3-year increments of the income statement, so I'm going to go every 3 years and try to hurry this up a little bit. How about Shift F11, and then we'll call it income. And then as we did before, we can put left and go to the income statement for 2014. Now, and that goes all the way to 2012. And then we go to the next one, and make sure you don't use the left here like I did on the other ones. Okay, so we have 2014, 13, 12. And then we'll go to the left, and let's go and get 2011. Now, if you are a little better, you would say, get one more to kind of make sure it's all working, but you can match them up and all this, but as you can see, getting a little frustrated. So we put this in and put comma 50, and then we get our other accounts. Okay, and where was I? 2011, I hope I was. Income 2011. And we get this 2011, 2010, 2009, and you know, I'm going to, on this one, where was the 2011 one? I'm going to put this perhaps up here. This is 2009, 208, 20, see, this is exactly why I wanted to do this, in 2011. Then if we want a final one, not a final one, let's do the next one. And let's get, so now we can get this one all the way to 2009. And now we'll go to 2008. So left, and let's go to the 2008 one. Hopefully this is the balance sheet was by far the biggest painful one, and then the cash flow statement you care much less about anyway. So hang on, where's the? Hang on, this was the. Oh, this here, 2008, 2007, 2006. So let's take that one and put comma 50. And then we'll do the same thing and get the, so this was in 2008. Okay, and then we get the, this is so goddamn boring. Okay, 2000, 2008, 2007, 2006. How can we mechanically do this as quickly as we possibly can and get all of the components in and really study it? So, I don't know. There must be a, without going to that menu thing, automatically going to the last sheet, there must be, I almost feel like writing a macro for that. There must be something easier, and especially look how slow this thing is going now. Okay, and then, you know, I'm going to click on this one. Okay, and then we have the final one. Let's see if we, the very first income statement will have a little bit of redundancy here. Oh, shit. I should have kind of, oh, God. We have so we can go back to 2004 with our income statement and get some trends and everything else. Okay, so I guess can we, oh, that's pretty stupid that I didn't do that, isn't it? Okay, so let's put equal left and go do the same thing. Oh, come on. What does it say to do? Click left? Well, I am using the mouse. Okay, and let's put comma 50, and then we'll can I do it with this one now? I'm not doing a thing on it. Yes, I can. Alright, and then, okay. They changed the format, so this time they went from backwards to forwards, okay? And then we are gonna copy it down, and then let's just maybe Control D to get it all down, okay? And remember what we did, okay? We put an insert in this column, and then we said, well, let's match this number against that column and see if we can get an exact match. And when we don't have an exact match on the items, like for goodwill here, then we have to decide what to do. And we have two choices, and last time I kind of made the wrong choice often. If it's basically the same account, like we have goodwill impairment here, which was, where's production startup? See, we have asset, and I think that one is really a legitimate addition, okay, because it might be asset and other, but we can put it here, and that's going to be a big issue for us. And then for restructuring, then we can go the other way. Okay, and then operating loss income, operating income loss, we don't really need two different accounts for that. And foreign currency loss net, and they had a different stupid title here. And that means they probably had a different title in the next one, but then we can go back and other income expense net. Of course, they changed the name. Oh, God. I thought this is going to be much easier. That's a pain. Okay, and then loss income before taxes, income loss before taxes. Oh, great. I guess there must be some kind of a convention. And then tax expense. Oh, God. And we don't even have the same words for net income. We have net income, net loss, net income. And we have net income per share. Okay. So that was a pain. And phew. But now we're finally finished. And as I'm on it, I'm just going to do the next one and leave this on. Let's see how bad it is. For some reason, when I'm leaving the video on, it makes it a little bit less painful for me, I think. Now let's put comma 0. And then I think I will turn it off after this. All right. But you can see, you can go kind of either way. Now this is, so we have over here the production startup, and I think if it's again the same kind of thing, let's just take it from the last one. Operating income. Here we didn't have a loss, and foreign loss or gain. I hope we didn't have a different sign on this. This is a dangerous one, but it looks like they did present it as a negative interest expense net. Why they couldn't have that to be the same? Those horrible people. Other income net, and this looks all the same. So let's take all this all the way down to income per share. So, all right, and then we have that one finished. So this is a little bit better than. The process is a little bit better, I hope, than the balance sheet, okay? And then we go up and we put equal match, and we click on the match. Come on, I just am getting everything wrong here. Put a 0, and then we go down. Oh, God. Oh, my God. What a mess. Typical crap. Couldn't even get net sales right. So let's put net sales. I'll just copy it from the last one. It's almost worth, copying it down. Gross profit. Yeah, okay. Selling and admin. Okay. I thought this would be much easier. Operating income, and then we have the foreign currency interest. Oh, great, they didn't have. And of course, they had interest expense and interest income in a different place. Guess they want to make it challenging for us. No, they called it other income then. And can we copy this all? Hopefully, income loss. Let's see. Other income, income loss, income tax, net income. So let's copy at least these 4. Oh, God. Oh, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and cumulative. We have some cumulative crap. Income. What is this? Oh, come on. And, so do we have any cumulative effective stuff in here? I'm going to leave that. What is this? Okay, I'm leaving this on way too long. Oh, membership crap. Okay, I'm turning I'm stopping this for a while. We're on an hour. All right, I'm stopping the video all finally. Here's how it looked after I cleaned things up with the index and match for the other ones. Now what I'm going to do is make a second video that got work through how to compute the return on invested capital, but this was a very long video and took much longer than I kind of expected, but illustrates some of the things and painful things about life, and we're going to compare the real statements to the stuff you get off the internet in the next one, and compute the return on invested capital and kind of do some